Hey guys, Carl from Purple Moose Plays. Today I'm going to be taking a preview look at Hextremadura, one of the 6 18 hex games coming from LittleHouse BoardGames to Kickstarter very shortly. This again is another 18 sort of hex-shaped tile-laying game, this time building out a sort of tableau landscape kind of thing, aiming to meet a bunch of different endgame scoring goals. Disclaimer, I was given these copies of the game as a prototype preview for the Kickstarter, but as always, I will do my best to offer my own honest opinion on the game. With that said, let's head down to the table to see how this one plays, and then I'll meet you back up top to let you know what I think. To set up a game of Hextremadura, begin by taking the 18 tiles with this sort of basic requirement side face up, giving the tiles a shuffle, and then you'll place them off to the side of the play area and reveal one tile like this so that you always have 2 tiles available for you for placement. And that's basically it for setup. Everything else will play out from there. Hextremadura is going to play out basically over 2+ rounds. And the reason I say plus rounds, you'll find out in a little bit when we get into how the second round works. But the first round of the game, we're basically going to be placing out tiles into our tableau, choosing either from the one on top of the stack or the other tile here. And we can simply place that first just anywhere to start our tableau. And then we're going to place it adjacent to a tile that's already out on the table. And when we place, there's basically no restrictions except that we can never overlap things. We want to be placing such that we are sort of fulfilling these requirements. So this edge of this tile wants to be touching 3 water sections, and this edge of this tile wants to be touching 3 forest sections or more. And when both of these are satisfied, we're going to then remove that tile from the tableau, flipping it over to this final objective side, and then we'll set it off to the side of the table. And we're going to play through the entire stack here. And after this stack has been finished, we will then take these new tiles with the other side showing, shuffle them up, and go into the second round. And I'll explain how the second round works once we get there. But basically, we're going to be laying these out, trying our best to fulfill these requirements such that we can flip as many tiles as possible to move into the second round. So let's go ahead and get started. This one needs 3 water and 3 forest. This one needs 5 crops and 3 water. So I'm going to actually start by placing, it doesn't matter which one I place first, we'll place this one here. And now we reveal the next tile like that. Then, I want water and forests, but if I place this in such a way that this water, no. If I do that, that's a problem because the 3 forest is going to hit the 1 forest and that's a dead end. So we definitely don't want to do that. I'd like to place it so that, let's do this. This 3 water now is satisfied by the 5 water spaces here. This 5 wants crops and this 3 wants water. Let's see what we can get there. Remembering though that things will start disappearing as they score. So it doesn't matter hugely if we get ourselves stuck in some way. Actually, you know what? I'm going to redo that so that it's up here because I don't want to mess up this 3. All right, then if I place this one here, that helps this 5. This 3 would be there, except that this is going to go away as soon as I place this down. So I want to think about rotation. If I place this here, now this 3 is touching this water, which is great. So we're going to place that there. This 5 now matches here. This 3 matches here. So this one is done. We will flip that and set it off to the side. Actually, you know what? Let's put these down here in the bottom. And then we reveal another tile. All right, then water and green. Okay, well, if I take this and put it here, I'm now satisfying this water is here and this forest is here. So those are both happy. Now, the chances of them both scoring at the same time are slim because one of them will disappear when it flips, but we'll see what happens. Then 3 forest and 4 crops. And water. Or, all right, let's do this. I'm gonna place this one, no. I'm gonna place it this way because this is looking for these forests. If I extend that, that's great. And this one both need 3 crops. So if I can connect the bridge between them, I'll get both of them done at the same time. But in the meantime, I need to extend this forest for here. And this will be perfect because this tile extends that forest like I need. But also, oh, actually, that's going to go away instantly because this 5 water is here. And this 3 forest is here already. So that's instantly completed. And then lots of foresty stuff. I'd like to put this out, but that doesn't really help. If I spin all the way around like this though, these two both want forest here. So that could be helpful. And that does build the 5 forest for this one. Okay. Then, this doesn't really help here instantly, but by putting this here, this 3 is a forest and this 3 is a forest, but now I've got 3 forest and 3 water there. So this one is actually finished already. Okay. Then, here's a new tile that we haven't seen before. This one has no requirements on it. This is a special tile, and when this gets placed, we can actually place either side of that tile. You'll see that the location of this forest and crops is just switching on the other side, but this has no requirement. It means this tile, when I place it down, will be sort of the end-all, be-all. That's never going to move, so if we put that in a place that ruins one of my requirements, it's going to be ruined forever. So I need to be careful, but those are also pretty helpful for me. Now, I need forest that extends here, which means I could do something like this. No, that doesn't connect to both of those in any way. Water here with crops there. Ooh, let's do that. No, that ruins everything. Well, not necessarily. That's okay for now. It's going to move because this is already 3 crops. This 3 crops is broken right now, but it could be fixed when this goes away. I need 3 water over here. And I need more crops for this one. So I'm going to take this water. No. I'm not going to take that water. That's the mistake. Because that has to be water and crops. And it can't be. So I need to place this such that it's going to score somehow. This may have been a mistake. But if I had placed it that way, no, because then it ruins that. Let's do this anyway. And we could just place 3 crops out here and get rid of that tile. Or 3 crops up here and get rid of that tile. Let's think about that. Yeah, that's 3 woods and that's 3 crops. Let's get rid of that. And then, if I take one of these 2 and connect those 2, that gets nicely done. Yes, let's do this to connect those 2. Yeah, or water down. Let's do water down, that way it fills in here. We need to get the water up to there somehow though, so maybe not. Let's do this. Now this has 4 easily. We need 3 forest over there. Oh, and there's a couple of options. But this is a 3 and a 5 forest. If I throw that there, that will go away. This is aimed at forests. Yeah, let's do that. This one now has 3 water and 3 forest. It goes away. I need more forest there for this with water over there. Which currently I don't... Ooh, could have. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. And then we've got lots of possibilities here for things that I don't really necessarily want to do. But if I put that one there, this automatically hits that for 4, that for 3. This one goes away. Then I think on the opposite side of this permanent tile is that permanent tile, which means we could do that. Because now that's a 3. We need a yellow here to get rid of that. And we need yellow here. We need white water there too. Can I place... That needs that. But that's for green. Yeah, but this is okay. If I place this here, this is going to be satisfied by there, so it will go away so I can get water there again. This is 3 yellow. This is going to be 4 yellow, so that'll go away soon. I can easily get water down there. Yes, then. I'm going to do this like that, because water is going to come there and those will both be happy. But by doing that, this 4 now, 1, 2, 3, 4 is done, and this 3 is done. So this tile goes away. Let's fix that mess. Like that. Oops. Then we've got one last tile to place before we move into the second round or sort of wave of this game. This one. 3 green and 3 yellow. That's off by 1 rotation. What else do I need to finish? This is a 3, this needs water. This green can't ever make it. I need a yellow here. And a green and a yellow. Let's do that. Hold on. But then this one's not going away. And this one, they both need to go away. And that's not happy. Then. Oh, I need a green here, but that's not a green yet. I need water here, I don't have any. Yeah, so this is not ending anything yet. Except that it could end this one. I don't like it, but we'll make some adjustments later. Now we've got 3 yellow and 3 water. This comes off. And like that, we are done the first round of the game. We're going to give these tiles a shuffle. We'll set them off to the side just like we did with the others, revealing the top tile again, except that now we're looking at the tiles that look like this. And on these tiles, you're going to see 3 different symbols. Monument symbols like this, fauna symbols like this, and flora symbols like that. And what we're trying to do as we place them is satisfy the condition that's shown in the center of the tile. And if we can satisfy that by the end of the game, we will score a point for each of those that we've satisfied. And basically, these can be satisfied anywhere on the tableau. It does not need to be touching this tile. But for example, this one says I need an area or a region of blue water with flora that's touching or adjacent to a green area or forest area containing some fauna. And we'll see how all of that plays out. Now, the reason I said that this plays out in 2 or more rounds is because as I'm placing out this second wave of tiles, anytime I fulfill one of the requirements from the first round, those will again come off and flip. So as long as we have tiles at the end, once these run out, if I have more tiles left, I'll take another round and continue playing until we have no tiles left to play. All right, so again, this one needs water with flora next to forest with fauna. And this one here says that I need one of each of the 3 different types of region, each with fauna in them, and they all need to be adjacent to each other. But right now I do see the blue acorn or the blue flora, which I do need for this one, and I want it to be up against the green, which it will be. So let's think about placing that one somewhere that might also take care of some of this stuff. But hold on, water and green we don't really need at the moment. Except that I would like to get rid of this. So, to do that I can put green here and connect the water to that. Might not be a bad idea. Okay, so let's do this. Or this. Because if I do that, this water also was going to connect to there. Yeah, all right, so there's my 3 is that. Then, yellow acorn, green bird. No, I need to connect here, but this won't do it because that's only 2. 4 green, that's 3 green, but if I turn it sideways, that's nice. What happens if I do that? Green acorn, blue acorn, connect. And then I could potentially get a yellow acorn if this goes away. I don't like locking that green acorn inside there. I put that there. Those blue and water are all working out. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, let's put it there. All right, then I will need another green that goes in there to finish that 4 so we can flip that, but let's see what else we've got. Here's a blue that contains everything. I need a monument, an acorn, and a bird in the same blue region, which could be this one and now could also be this one over here. I don't need any more water for objectives except this one here, and I got to get rid of that first. And to do that, I need more yellows, and neither of those is going to work. We do need a yellow acorn next to a green bird, but we don't have any green birds yet. But this yellow acorn could connect here. But that needs to make sure that, because there might be 3 acorns like this, 3 birds. Do I want to disconnect like that? Yeah, why not? All right, then I'm going to put this here and hope that I get, oh wait, no, there's no green there. I'm going to put this here. Because now if I do get the one that has 3 acorns adjacent to each other, we've satisfied that. Now that's all off screen, so let's slide this all down if I can. I'm going to break everything. Then I need yellow with everything in it. I don't have any yellow things except that acorn, which I've now locked in there, which might be a mistake. Here's a yellow monument. Here's a blue monument. Still need a blue acorn next to a green bird, and I have a yellow acorn next to a green bird. So if I can put a green bird in here, that would be great. I need all birds next to each other too, though I don't know if that's gonna happen. All right, I need blue everything together too, which means this blue needs to connect into there so that that blue acorn, or into here. But this is also great for this over here to make sure that happens. So I'm going to do that. I don't know if it's worth it for the scoring condition, but doing that means this tile is done. We'll set that off down here. Now I need 3 water over here. But I don't want to bury that because I need that to connect to my acorn. And I don't think that's going to connect all the way around like that. Realistically, I should have rotated this one facing down, but I didn't, and I'm not going to change that. This one does need to go away before this one can. And then this one as well. There's a blue bird. Do I need a blue bird? Yeah, I need a blue bird to touch wherever this goes. So, and I need all the birds to touch. So I'm going to put that here, like that. And now we need a green space with everything in it too. All right, here's a new symbol. This is 3 monuments, all in yellow, but none of them can be adjacent to another. I do have one coming here. I don't see any yellow birds yet to match with this yellow monument, but that's okay. I do really want to get rid of this though. So I'm going to do that, like that, so that this tile will go away. Like that. There's a second yellow monument that'll come out later, which is nice. And there's my third yellow monument. Great. I still need green with everything in it, which is great up here. This gets me a blue bird next to a yellow monument, which can happen if I put this up here where you can't see it. That's a problem. Let's do that like that. And let's slide everything down again. Fix it up a little bit. Okay, then we've got one last tile left. And I need 3 yellows there and 5 green there. I can easily do that. Do I need a green acorn touching anything that a green acorn isn't already touching? It looks like the answer for right now is no. So that goes there. And doing that means that this one has now been fulfilled. That flips over. We shuffle these. And we place out like that. Then I don't think this one's ever going to complete. This one could if I put greens there, but not with these. This one could if I put some water there, but not currently. I need this green bird to be part of this forest, so I'm going to put that there. But what does that mean about this acorn? No, stop. Wrong. This green bird goes there because nothing else matters. Here I need temples next to each other. There's a green and a yellow, and if I put a blue somehow touching here, that would be great, but that's down here. There's a blue and a yellow touching, but that green's in the wrong place. Well, let's see what happens anyway. Got this yellow acorn that needs to touch the blue and the green, but there's, I already did that anyway. No, I got a yellow acorn that needs to come here because it needs to be part of this and hopefully put a yellow bird there, but I don't have any yellow birds. I am adding this one here because doing that gets me 4 water and 3 yellow. This one flips over there. And that there is my last tile because I don't think I'm fulfilling any of the others with this tile. There's no way to get 3 water here. There's no way to get 4 green here. This one's not pointing at the right thing. So where do I place this to get the most effect? Blue acorn next to yellow monument already happens. Green acorn next to blue already happens. This bird needs to be part of this so I get everything in yellow. Do I have an everything in yellow goal? No, I don't. I have an everything in blue goal that I didn't pay attention to. Oh yeah, everything in yellow is right there. Okay, good. Then this one goes in here. Again, I'm sorry you can't really see it, but you can see that the bird just barely at the bottom of the screen is there. Let me slide things up just a tad, like that. Should be just everything on screen. You can see the bird now here as part of that. There is an acorn just here off screen in blue, but it's not going to be important, I think. Let's see if we can push up just a little further. No, you still can't see it, but that's okay. Actually, let me see if I can zoom out just a tad. All right, there we go. Now everything is on screen. So we are done placing tiles. Now we just need to go through and look to see which of our final objectives we've managed to complete. Now this game doesn't come with any tokens to do this, but I was inspired by the Daniel Anderson playthrough of this game that he pulled out tokens from another game. So I will do the same. I've got these little black discs, and as I go through anything that I've done, I will cover with one of those discs, and we'll add them up to find our final score. So here I've got a green acorn next to a blue monument. Green acorn next to blue monument. That has been fulfilled. Everything in one yellow area. Bird, monument, acorn. That's good. We've got a blue acorn, yellow monument. Here's a blue acorn. That blue is touching this yellow monument. Good. I've got a blue acorn, green bird. Here's my blue acorn, here's my green bird. They are touching. I've got 3 yellow monuments not adjacent. 1, 2, 3. Good. I've got 3 birds that are adjacent. I don't think we did it because my yellow is over here. There's a yellow and a green adjacent here. There's a blue and a green adjacent here, but unfortunately all 3 no, so I don't get that one. 3 acorns all adjacent, green next to blue, green next to yellow, blue next to yellow. That works. 3 things in green, acorn, bird, monument. We got that one. Then 3 different monuments adjacent to each other. I don't think so. There's a yellow next to green. There's a yellow next to blue, but blue and green are not adjacent to each other. There's a yellow next to green, but there's no blue up there. So unfortunately, we didn't get that one. Bluebird, yellow monument. Bluebird is connected to this. Water is connected to this monument. Yes. And everything in blue, unfortunately, here's my big blue with acorn and bird, but the monument is all the way over here, which also doesn't touch that one. And I think that is it. So we finished the game with a score of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points, which is a sort of middling score. The max score, the sort of clear score to have completely beaten the game is 15. So we got above half, which makes me happy because this game is not easy. We'll talk about that later. While we're here, I want to talk about the components. Now this is a prototype for Kickstarter. You'll see there's a little bit of color inconsistency on these. That's obviously going to come out in the final published version. There's not a whole lot I can talk about here except that the colors pop really nicely. I really do like the graphic and art design of these tiles. Everything stands out. Everything's very easy to understand, very easy to parse as far as the iconography on the tiles. The tiles are a nice size, sort of like a takenoko size tile. Nice sturdy tiles. Otherwise, the only other thing that comes in the box, at least for the prototype I have, is this little pamphlet, which right now is just a QR code and a little bit of information about the game. No rules or anything. And right now, if I scan this QR code, it takes me to the Kickstarter page. I'm not sure what's going to be in the completed version of the game, whether there will be a QR code to online rules or if there will be rules in the box. I'm not sure, but I just wanted to show you that that's what I got. Otherwise, the storage for this game, again, I really enjoy what they're doing here. Just 18 tiles, comes in this nice small hex-sized box, and the tiles fit very nicely and sturdily right in the box. And realistically, I have some tokens here. There's a little bit of space left in the box after I put the tiles in, so realistically I could throw in those tokens and carry them with them in the box too for easy scoring later on. Yeah, that's basically all I can say about the components and storage, but everything I see makes me very, very happy as far as the look and the feel of everything in this game. With that said, meet me back up top and I'll let you know what I think about the game itself. Welcome back. I hope that you enjoyed the playthrough. This is now the second of these 18 hex games that I'm covering on the channel, and this is also the first one that I knew that I really wanted to cover on my channel because this is the only of the 6 games being released that is a solo-only game. And it's also a spatial puzzle game, which if you know me and you've ever seen the videos on my channel, I will tell you that I'm a big fan of spatial puzzle games and putting things together that score based on how they're connected and how they're placed out on a tableau, and this is that. This game clearly is a game that I've enjoyed now because of what I just told you, but this game sort of, for me, is kind of what I wanted from Sprawlopolis from Button Shy. Rather than 18 cards now, we have 18 hexes. But Sprawlopolis to me was always brain-breaking because I never really knew how to lay down the things in a good way. I always sort of felt like I was guessing at things or playing things down without really much idea of what a good choice or what a good decision looked like. And this game breaks my brain and burns my brain in a lot of the same ways, but it makes it feel a little bit more to me like I have some more idea of what I'm doing, just because visually it makes more sense, at least for me, how these things are connecting together and exactly what it is that I should be doing, whether or not I'm doing them to the best of my ability or the most efficiently or that I'm any good at this game at all. I don't know about that, but this one definitely feels to me like I have a little bit more understanding of what it is that I'm doing. So let's talk about exactly what it is that I'm doing in this game, because what makes this game unique? It's not just Sprawlopolis, and it's not a Sprawlopolis clone. I only bring that game up because it's a similar size and it's a similar style of game where we've got goals that we're trying to build by placing map pieces together. But this one offers some interesting differences in that, well, first off, they're hexes, so the way that they connect is unique. It's very rare that we've seen a game like this that is just a small collection of hexes, and now all of these games are that. So it's interesting to see simply the twist on games that can be made because they're using hexes instead of using a four-sided card or tile. So that already is interesting to me. But the mechanisms here are cool because you're basically just choosing one of two tiles to place out and place out and place out until you've built a map. But you're doing it in sort of two phases. In the first phase, you're sort of setting up the world that you're then going to score in the second half of the game. But you only get as many tiles back to play in the second half of the game as tiles that you were able to sort of meet the required goal responsibility. Responsibility is not the word, but the goals that are printed on these cards. If I can meet those two requirements, there's the word I was looking for. If I can meet the two requirements on any given hex, I get to pull it off, flip it over, and then that gets used in the next phase. So the more of those that I can achieve in that first phase or in the first few phases as I continue adding tiles later on in that sort of second wave of the game, I'm pulling these tiles off. So if I can somehow put everything out in such a way that all of these trigger, then I've got that full 18 stack back again. Well, not full because there's those three cards that don't ever, or three tiles that don't ever come off because they don't have those requirements printed on them. But those other 15 cards, if I can get them all back, or sorry, tiles, if I can get all 15 of those tiles back, that means the second wave is definitely going to be better because I have more option, more ability to score on those things. But at the same time, if I focus only on scoring those requirements to get those tiles back, it's very likely that I'm placing things in very strange places so that in the second wave, and this is the second part of the mechanism, when I'm putting out those tiles, I need to make sure now that I've got specific things that are in regions adjacent to each other. I've got other things that are regions that aren't connected to each other. I need to have all of some different kinds of things in a specific region. And if I've scattered stuff all over the place, it's going to be very difficult for me to score those second phase end game sort of scoring goals now because things are so scattered, because I wasn't paying attention. So in the first round, I both have to be thinking, how do I put these together to fulfill enough of those requirements to get enough tiles back to do something later? But also, how do I build a map that sort of has large regions of the same color so that later in the second round when I start putting other tiles in, I can sort of expand those regions so everything that needs to be adjacent is adjacent and everything that should be spread out is spread out. So it's a really interesting multi-layered puzzle of preparation and then scoring kind of system. And it really, really does work for me. Now my highest score is a 9. The max score is a 15, and that's sort of a game clear kind of score. I don't know that I'll ever get to the 15. I don't know that I'm really understanding what I'm doing well enough to ever get a perfect score on this game, but that doesn't mean that I won't keep trying. I've scored lots of 2s and 3s. You just saw me score an 8, and again, I've scored a 9 once. But those 2s and 3s tend to be where I'm at most of the time. So I'm definitely still learning good strategy and good sort of tactical decision making in this game. but I'm having a whole lot of fun doing it. I definitely recommend, if you like these kinds of spatial puzzle, map, tableau building kind of puzzly kind of games, like a Sprawlopolis, like a Cascadia, like those kinds of games, I would strongly recommend you check this out when it hits Kickstarter. I will put the link to the Kickstarter down below to make it easy for you. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I do hope that this was a helpful video for you. If it was, as always, I ask you to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon below, as it does really help out the channel. Thank you again, and I'll see you all next time.